Hello, 22 Tony here. Haven't posted a video in quite some time, and I decided I was going to try something a little bit different today. Stacking silver seems to be a hot topic, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of my opinion. Let me start off by saying do not, under any circumstances, take my opinion as gospel. Anybody on YouTube that tells you they've got all the answers and their way or no way, run. I'm just going to give you my opinions off of many years of collecting. I've been buying and collecting and trading coins off and on for well over 50 years, so I've got some opinions. Doesn't mean they're right, doesn't mean they're wrong, they're just my opinions. So let's start with why do we want to stack silver? There are several reasons for doing it. One, we just like pretty coins and we want to collect them. Another is we're trying to save our wealth for future generations. Another reason might be for short-term gain. There's a million different reasons why you might want to buy, trade, sell, hold silver. Use your reasons for setting your goals and making your decisions. Like I said, I've been buying, selling, trading coins for well over 50 years. My reason is twofold. I started collecting wheat pennies, and I just like building a collection and finding rare and unique items, and that's what got me started. Over the years, I realized that silver and gold, to a lesser extent for those of us on limited incomes, is a way to store our wealth. So over the years, as I've had a few extra dollars here and there, I might buy a Morgan silver dollar, or I might buy a few silver dimes, and I've stuck them away in a lockbox for many years, and over the years my collection has built a nice little collection, not huge, but I've got a nice variety. So now the question is, do I want to buy silver eagles? Do I want to buy silver rounds and silver bars? Do I want to buy coins? All of them have their place. Personally, I generally stay away from silver eagles. The premium over spot price is way too high as far as I'm concerned. I don't think they're a good investment. If you like pretty coins and you want to collect one from every year, go for it. If you think they're a long-term investment, my personal opinion is they're not. I've got 4 here. There was a reason for it. In 2021, they made 2 different varieties. So I bought a few of them. If I am going to buy silver eagles, though, I wanted to make sure I got the best of the best. So these are all what's called MS70, Mint State 70. That's the highest grade a coin can get. So these are considered perfect coins. They're sealed in plastic, so I can't scratch them or do any damage to them. So these will be around, they'll be an inheritance someday. So then the question that just came to my mind is, what about wearing gloves? You'll see that I'm handling my coins without them. There's a lot of controversy on that. Some collectors say it's not necessary, don't ever do it. Some say don't ever touch a coin without them. I'm somewhere in between. On pristine, uncirculated coins, I wear gloves. I don't touch them with my bare hands. On circulated US currency, that these have been touched by thousands of hands, mine aren't going to make a difference, so I don't bother. So now the next step is we've already mentioned the silver eagles. What about silver bars and rounds? I do have silver bars and rounds. Personally, they're not my first choice. When I'm at an auction and they come up and I can get them at a good price, I do buy them. I don't go out looking for them. That's not where the bulk of my collection is, but I'm not opposed to them either. Personally, I try to get them as close to spot value as I can. When you buy them from a dealer, you're probably not going to get them at spot, but occasionally at flea markets, auctions, garage sales, I am able to get these at spot price. You know, if I can buy 0.999 fine silver at spot value, I will buy them. Rounds and bars, personally I don't see a difference in them. It's just whichever you prefer. Years ago when I started collecting, bars seemed to be hot. Today, from what I'm seeing in the market, rounds seem to be the preferred choice. Again, personally I don't see a difference. I mentioned that that's not my first choice. My first choice is circulated US coins for several reasons. I generally, except for the high grade ones, that's not real high, yeah, except for high grade coins, I can generally get these at very low premium over spot, which means when the time comes to sell them, I'm much more likely to get my value out of them than I would out of the rounds or like something like a Silver Eagle. I also, part of my reason for collecting over the years was I've always had in the back of my head, what about in case of an emergency? One would be a personal emergency. Money gets tight, it happens to all of us, and we need some quick cash. I'm able to sell a few coins real quick and get grocery money for the week. The other would be a long-term emergency. We get another COVID type event where everything's shut down, and maybe this one's even more serious, and the grocery stores run out of everything. Well, I live in Amish country. The Amish understand silver. I would be able to go to the Amish farmers with silver dimes, silver quarters, and be able to buy what I need. So those are considerations. Are they right or wrong? That's up to you to decide. Those are my considerations. Now, again, as far as the silver coins, generally I do buy circulated. These are very well circulated. I do have Morgans that are nicer condition. There's a peace dollar that's a little nicer condition. Again, my reason for buying them is storing wealth. It doesn't matter to me that these are circulated. When that time comes that I need to sell them quick, I'll be able to sell them without any problem. Those of you that are more interested in pristine coins, you're going to pay a little bit of a premium for an uncirculated coin, but for a collector, they're going to appreciate in value. So there is a place for those as well. I bought these for a specific reason. This is an MS62, an MS63, and an MS64. They're all uncirculated, but they're different grades of uncirculated. The higher the grade, the fewer marks or imperfections on the coin. So I bought a few. I have some others too. I have some 65s and some 67s. These are just for educational purposes for myself, so that when I do get a new coin, I can compare it and, you know, hopefully grade it a little bit better myself. Personally, I don't trust my own grading. If it came to buying a high-grade coin, I would want it slabbed. I would want a professional grading service, either NGC or PCGS, to put their grade on it. That way I know a professional says this is an MS62 coin. Me looking at my eye, I might look at that and say that's an MS64, in which case I would pay way too much for it. So on the higher grade, I would want professional grading services. So another question is, when it comes to our silver rounds or silver bars, how do you feel about toning? Some people are absolutely dead set against it. They want pristine, shiny, beautiful, mint state rounds. Other people are fine with some light toning. Personally, a nice toned coin to me is a nice coin. I got no problem with a toned coin. Again, it's a decision that you're going to have to make for yourself. That if you don't like the toning, don't buy them. There's plenty of untoned coins out there. But then you go to a coin dealer and you're going to be able to find some coins with some nice toning on them. So again, this is just a real brief, my idea behind collecting. I may go further in at some point, you know, these 2021 Silver Eagles, that could be an entire video in themselves. So there could be some potential videos down the road. But I do want to leave one thing before I leave off. I want to make it important, or drive the importance of understanding where you're buying from. There are fake coins, there are fake silver rounds, there's fake everything on the market. You can actually buy fake silver bars from the Chinese for pennies per bar. And then there are unscrupulous people that are doing that and then turning around and selling them on the market as real. Pay attention to what you're doing. Other than, if you're picking up one circulated Morgan dollar from your local coin dealer, you're probably pretty safe. Anything slabbed by a professional grading company isn't immune from fakes. There are companies out there that are making fake slabs. So it's important that you go to the company's website. If you're going to spend your money on something that you expect to appreciate in value, go to the company website. They all have serial numbers on here. You can put it in and verify that this is what it's supposed to be. You definitely want to do that. Silver bars and rounds, know who you're buying from. If you go to a garage sale and they have a couple of these that Grandpa left them, you're probably okay. If you go to some shady corner store and they're selling box lots of them at 20% below spot, you want to be really careful. Know the weight of what the coin should weigh, or the rounds. The rounds in bars are easy because they're 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce. Put it on a scale. If a dealer has a problem with you taking that out of the package and putting it on a scale, run. There's ping tests. You can buy apps for your cell phone that allow you to ping the coin. And based on the sound, I love the sound of stacked silver. Based on the sound, it helps. Nothing's a guarantee, but that helps. Another very simple test, a magnet. This is a fake silver round. Or silver bar, I'm sorry, not a round. Looking at this with the bare eye, nobody's going to be able to determine that that's not real. But it is absolutely fake. Real silver does not stick to a magnet. That does. This one, now I knew before I bought this that it was fake. I bought 3 of them, and the main reason was, I think the guy was honest. He didn't really know that they were fake, but I didn't want him selling them to somebody else at silver price, because that's what he tried selling them to me for spot value. And when I pointed out they were fake, he did give them to me for just a few dollars each. But I wanted them off the market, so I did buy them. So they are out there. If I hadn't checked, at that time silver was about I think it was about $32 an ounce when I bought these. The 3 of them, I would have been out $100. So you got to be careful what you're doing. Know what you're doing. Do your homework. Do what's right for you. The most important thing is, don't take advice off of YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see how it goes. I may be making some more videos down the road on different coins and different ideas as far as collecting. Thanks again.